Okay, finally we're playing We the Revolution. So We the Revolution is about the French Revolution. Again, late 18th century. You kind of know how it goes there. So this shows you basically what to expect. Now, your character, you play a judge during the French Revolution. The French Revolution was a bloodbath. So as far as revolutions go, the United States Revolution, like on a scale of 0 to 100, with 100 being the best, the United States, like the U.S. Revolution, is probably like a 90. The French Revolution is probably like a 20, but only beaten by like the Bolshevik Revolution. So it was basically the I don't know what you would call it, the proletariat rising up and basically just butchering everyone who was in charge. So anyway, so the character is a judge, sort of, in the aristocracy. And you're challenged, of course, in this period to be a judge and be impartial and do the right thing. But you are an imperfect person, and you've got your flaws. And on top of that, when you've got mob rule, you can't always afford to, if you want to preserve yourself, it can be difficult to do the right thing. So, anyway, we've got two different modes: fiction or survival. It's a variant of the main game focusing on court trials, which the goal is to keep the main character alive. So we're going to do fiction to start with, because that's the main mode. Create the profile, Tommy G. I got to do options. I'm gonna take the music down just a little. Resolution's good. Full screen English tutorial. Oh, audio. Here we go. Music. We'll take this down to 50. So you can hear that there. Everything else good at 80%. That's good. Because I don't mind the music. I just don't. Okay. So anyway, hold on one second. I'm gonna clear my throat. So you'll be able to see, it kind of walks you through your background at first and shows you to where you're going. Here we go. And I'll be doing a lot of reading here.
Father. I am here. Do you hear me? I gave you the best I could. Why did you disown me? I have your blood in my veins. How could you? Do I mean nothing to you? Why did you grieve for him? He was nothing. I am better than he was. People will follow in my footsteps. Father.
Okay, Ramon Devoy. Remind me the next time that I want to stop drinking this cloudy rot gut. Remind me before I drink it. We're disgracing Demis? Ah, is someone coming? Alright, so this is someone I know, apparently. Alright, Mathilde Fidel. I think it's my wife. This was bound to happen. Bernard Fidel. This is my oldest son, I believe. I told you. This is my youngest son, Frederic Fidel. Papa, you said we would go. You promised. Raymond Devoy. I think this is... Wait a minute. Maybe this is my father-in-law. Papa had a lot of work. Yes, a lot of heavy glasses. You promised me. I can't anymore. I'm fed up with asking. Mama's angry because... Quiet. Today your favorite son wanted to prove he was more honorable than his father, so he started a fight. A 5-year-old boy, for God's sake. Our neighbors wanted you to explain that to them, but, well, you were fighting for justice at an inn. Damn you, you bloody drunk. Mother. Alright, documents and letters. Drag and drop documents to manage their layout. Click to display their contents. Events. React to events. Ignoring them may have severe consequences. Okay. Also, the events are over there. Alright, and then this is the notebook. Notebook. Review detailed information about current events, actions, and characters. And the verdict. Consider the effects and decide the defendant's fate. Options are there. Change the game settings. Hierarchy. Review the current balance of power in Paris and your position therein. And intrigues are complex. Conflicts between you and another political player. A defeat may turn out to be disastrous for you. Influence points. Influence points are the main currency of the game. Use them wisely. Notifications. Pay close attention to changes in your influence in relations with factions. Global modifiers. Some of your decisions and changes in the world of the game may cause global modifiers to come into action. These factors affect relations, reputation, and influence. You can review them in the notebook. Alright. Well, this one is sort of blazing, so I'm going to click on that. Alright, Fidel. Let's see here. This is my oldest... Oh, no, that's us. That's our character. A judge of the Revolutionary Tribunal. Generally considered a drunkard and gambler. A protege of Raymond Devoy, who introduced him... So I'm a protege of Raymond... Okay, so the guys who introduced him to the world of law and regulations. In private, he's an unremarkable character. That's basically us. So, okay, we became a judge of the tribunal, probably a judge beforehand, and now promoted to this. And this is sort of the hierarchy with the Paris. Okay, so my son is basically on trial for questions. Gather information to influence the jury's attitude by questioning the defendant. Unlock questions. To ask questions, you have to first unlock them in the inquiry linking menu. Question effect. Being in the jury's good graces allows you to find out which way they will sway after you've asked a question. Right, these are all locked, so I don't think I can click on anybody else. So let me click on this thing real quick. That doesn't really do anything. There are no notifications. Notebook, news, case file. Let me just go to the news quick. Make your decision. Each action may require a different number of influence points and have a different chance of success. Consider them carefully. Neighborhood gossip. Your addictions are no longer a secret. The fact that other children are bullying your son because of them is a minor problem. But who's spreading those rumors? It's likely to be one of their parents. They could have whispered in their children's ears whom they shouldn't play with and why. They might even have spiced the story up with a lie. But who will hear it next? Okay. Oh boy, so what is influence points? If I intimidate the parents, I lose influence. Let's talk eye to eye. Or ignore it. Let's talk eye to eye then, right? If they have problems with me, I want to know them. Okay. Notebook. Relations. Negative relations with factions mean negative consequences for you. Right, the fervor is rising. Reputation impacts everything in the world of the game. Factions, family relations, the audience's attitude, the fervor in the sections, and even the ability to persuade other characters. Sections taken over. Influence points. You have a set amount of influence points per day. In the future, you will be able to increase this limit. Global honor, the death penalty, prison, or acquittal. I'm not broadcasting. I am recording. Let me just say this to him here real quick, because he's my brother-in-law and he needs to know. Not broadcasting, comma, recording, exclamation point. Alright. So I've got different tabs on here. You know what this one is? Events, neighborhood gossip, prologue. Okay, so I got -1 influence point at my reputation, common folk, neighborhood gossip was here. This is what I already read. And then select a person to view detailed information about them. Friends and family. Oh, okay. Mathilde, my wife. Born in Paris, she's never been outside the city. A woman seen by many as a perfect wife. She takes care of the household and the children and looks after her husband's elderly father. She doesn't show it outright, but she's determined to protect her children at all costs. They are perhaps more important to her than you. Bernard Fidel, my eldest son, a slender and handsome young man. The weight of current developments in France is slowly drawing on him, igniting a revolutionary zeal in his heart. He thinks that the revolutionary judges should only be appointed from the lower classes of society, because only such people could be considered untainted and able to work towards the common interest, not only their personal gain. His gullibility is more dangerous than Frederick's, as his actions can carry the same weight as an adult's. People who excel in manipulating young and weak minds may take advantage of his alacrity. He's a fledgling yet talented fiddler. Frederick Fidel, my youngest son. Naive and innocent, which is completely normal for a boy his age. He idolizes you and wants to be just like you. Even if he occasionally disobeys his mother, he carries out his father's will to the letter. His favorite toy is a wooden sword that he always carries at his side. In his imagination, he fights against villains, just like his father does in real life. He likes to carve small wooden figurines. Aldrich Fidel, my father, I guess, once a moderately well-off merchant, today a bitter old man left with nothing but feverish visions of impossible vengeance against the Reynard family, who once deprived him of his dreams. For several years he was unable to adequately provide for his family, to give his children the same standard of living as they used to enjoy. Since you secured your new position at the court, your family was once again able to live a fairly acceptable life, and your father began dreaming of returning to his former trade. However, Aldrich had grown too old and too tired to revive his long-lost career. Instead of enjoying the prestige and wealth of the Fidel family, he had to bear witness to the Reynard family's rise to power. And Raymond Devoyer, my mentor, a man who has lived long enough to fully realize that justice isn't always the right answer. In his line of work in these troubled times, the only thing that matters is survival instinct. At times, it must go against the interests of other people. A man with such a mindset knows that one must keep an open ear, both in the parlors and in the back alleys. The blind Themis appears to him as a bedtime fable, fit at best for novice law students. Perhaps he perceives too many shades of gray morality to remain an efficient judge. So, that's a lot to read. Okay, case file. So my son is in court for fighting. Alright, files. To review charges and facts, this will make it easier for you to unlock questions of the defendant. To Judge Alexis Fidel. We have not expected this kind of behavior from your son, although apparently we should have. Innocent child's play. Child's play. Finding links. Find the correct links to unlock questions for the defendant. Find the correct links to unlock questions for the defendant. Choose a line of inquiry and link it to the right category. Chances. While linking lines of inquiry and categories, you can make a limited number of mistakes. If you make too many mistakes, the whole system will become locked. Traps. Some cases may contain traps. Read through the files thoroughly to find the lines of inquiry that are irrelevant. Okay, I'm not going here yet, though. Let me go back to the case file. Okay, we would not expect this kind of information. Innocent child's play turned into an assault on our children. The younger one, Antoine, now has a chipped front tooth. We hope that you will punish your child accordingly. Should the situation repeat itself, we will react more decisively. I am sure we can deal with a gambler and a drunkard, even if he's a judge. We will not let our children be hurt. That's incredibly insulting, flat out. Unlock questions. Innocent, an assault, Antoine, front tooth. Okay, course of events, extenuating circumstances, victim. Okay. Fighting children. So, possibility of repeating fighting children. Course of events. I think I dragged this to here. Or is that extenuating circumstances? Question discovered. Okay. Are all of these course of events? Extenuating circumstances. Incorrect link. Okay, I've got one more left. The victim is going to be injured Antoine, right? Okay, one more question. So it's going to be the possibility of repeating the chipped tooth of the fighting children. Extenuating circumstances. Child's play. No, that was course of events. This wasn't. Child's play. Possibly repeating. I'm going to say the chipped tooth incorrectly. Doggone. So neither of these are extenuating circumstances. Questions discovered. That was course of events, right? All questions unlocked. Perfect. I don't even know how I did that. I wasn't even paying attention. Questions were okay. How did your play turn into a fight? What exactly were they saying? Who started the fight? Did you really break out? Okay. How did your play turn into a fight? That's on Alexis' video. Our neighbors, Antoine and Jean, they were saying mean things about you. We were playing guards, and they asked me to pretend to be a drunkard, whom they would, You were fighting both of them at once? I had to. Now, I'm not sure if I'm supposed to ask him all the questions. What exactly were they saying? Are you too drunk to guess? Oh, yeah. I was not asking you. They were yelling that you are. Well, I told them it's not true, and they started calling me names. They called me a drunkard's son. Who started the fight? I can tell you ended it. I think it was me. I kicked the one on the left, and then wanted to get the one on the right, but they ended it. They knocked me to the ground and paid me back for hitting them. Did you really break Anton's tooth? Friedrich's just a child. I don't know. I don't think so. Did you hit him in the face? I think I kicked him, but not that hard. Okay. I think that's it. I think I go to my verdict form now. Punishment. Make the most important decision. Condemn the defendant or deem them not guilty. Signature. Sign the document to legitimize your verdict. Unavailable in this case. Jury opinion on it. Choose a verdict. Alright, what's this thing? Quick judgments are not available yet. Alright. There's two things going on here. One, many things, but he's my son. I believe him. His story seems honest. The kids were starting it, and he doesn't even think he broke the kid's tooth. So, and I gotta protect the family, man. Not guilty. I find the defendant not guilty. I'm sure there'll be consequences, but he did well. Man has to defend the honor of his family no matter what. Educational procedures. Those children are so small, and they already know the truth. The father of my children is a lying drunk and a gambler. Bernard used to worship you, but he soon grew up. Now it's Frederick's turn to learn the truth that echoes in the streets. Boy. Cold. And you, Raymond, you're supposed to be my husband's mentor. Is this what you wanted to teach him? How to repeat your mistakes and lose his family? I was unaware that Mathilde had such a temper. As was I. We will wait outside, as always. C'est la guerre.
Paris.
Liberté!
We were enchanted by the idea of freedom. We could not resist it. Whole families took to the streets. France was never so happy. We were enchanted by the idea of freedom.
See how he ends up repeating the first phrase. Almost trying to convince himself that this was a good thing. Even though his conscience is gnawing at him. Alright, my first actual case. And this may be it for today. Alright, let's see. Expected sentence. Find out which verdict is expected by the factions and your close ones. Okay. Prison, common folk, revolutionaries. So, common folk. Acquittal. Expected sentence. I believe... So I believe the common folk and the revolutionaries want this guy in prison. Sure he's not revealed its verdict yet. Checking the hierarchy again here. Okay, Robespierre. It's at the top there. Owing to his passionate devotion to the revolutionary cause, he is widely referred to as the Incorruptible. As leader of the radical Jacobins, he preserves order in the National Convention with an iron fist and, if need be, terror. Undeniably the most powerful man in Paris in the age of revolution. As yet, none have dared defy him. We all kind of know how it ends for Robespierre, though, don't we? Or do we? Notifications. Influence points. +3. Alright. I couldn't remember if I go left to right. Neighborhood gossip. Okay, the exchange of pleasantries did not take long. Most people stop being brave the moment they face danger. This time the dangers could be described as the judge of the Revolutionary Tribunal and a 1-meter-long bludgeon in the hand of a guard. Once the last words had left your mouth, the man's gaze dropped to the ground. He did not even look at the weapon held by the guard, who was eager to hear just one word of objection. That should deal with the problem. Check me notebook in it. Death penalty, prison, acquittal. Neighborhood gossip. Okay. Select the person to view detailed information. Okay, these are the people that are still missing. Okay. What's protocol? Okay, protocol. Review the trial's records. Okay. Case file. Who is this man? Compiled by Richard Monnier. Fraud. Jean Renard, a 45-year-old innkeeper, has been charged with fraud. He's accused of diluting alcohol in his tavern, tricking his clients into paying extra. Guests came with their minds set on a specific goal, getting roaring drunk. But instead of staggering out after drinking 2 pitchers of wine or several pints of beer, they would sit in the inn until morning, still sober and completely penniless. The innkeeper's fraud came to light when one of the customers discovered the scam and caught the cheater in the act. The man entered the host's cellar and witnessed him diluting alcohol in the barrels with ordinary water. As a result, customers received only 4 parts of what they paid for, and 1 part from the water carrier. Okay. Method, adding water. Question discovered. Motive, diluting alcohol. Ooh, no. Okay. Customer's drunkenness. The witnesses? He is the innkeeper. Exposing the innkeeper. Is the motive? Doggone it. Customer's drunkenness is the witnesses? Or is diluting alcohol a method? Or the witnesses? Cripes. I got one more. Whew. Customer's drunkenness has to be the witnesses, right? It couldn't be the innkeeper. All links have been used. Shoot. In difficult times, people like to seek peace at the bottom of a glass. Please introduce yourself. My name is Jean Renard, Monsieur Le Judge. Nothing but fraud. See the crowd there, okay? Jury. Systematically opposing the opinion of the jury may lead to serious consequences. Okay. How long have you been involved in the illegal practice of dueling alcohol? It's not a legal practice. Everyone adds a bit. In your case, it was a bit of wine in the water, not the other way around. Have you been doing this for a long time? A few weeks at the most. It's been hard to earn a living lately. I used to run an honest business. Pure wine was overspilling the glasses. Is there any proof to support your testimony? He lied to his customers. No reason he wouldn't lie in court. Alright. Do we have... Does it have a point? How do you feel about tricking weary citizens? Terrible, but all I wanted was to keep my business afloat. Others don't mess around for sure. No diluting would be the end of me. So you decided to commit fraud so as not to lose money? If I lost my tavern, my family would starve to death. Do you have children? I do. 1 son and 2 daughters. Time to start saving up for the dowry. Then why don't you send them to work, idiot? Jury's on the fence. Common folk and the revolutionaries want prison. Alright, this is the transcript. Okay, I get that. Jury's opinion, acquittal. Well, the jury wants to acquit. I don't know who it's the jury. These are the people selected for the peers. I don't know the motivations of these people out here. I don't know if someone's trying to set him up. All I know that he's told his story to the jury, and the jury's close. They're close. But their opinion's acquittal. And I tend to agree with them. Jury votes in favor of acquitting the defendant. They find him innocent. I agree. Find the defendant not guilty. I sign by name. The verdict is not guilty. Lead citizen Renard out. What is this? They released the fraud? This is not justice. Okay. Reputation bonus, risk of death. Risk of being removed from office. Unlock questions 2 of 4. That's not good. I need to nail that stuff down. Moving on. After trial, click move on to the next part. Okay. Alright, there's my protege or whatever. Not my protege, my mentor. It's the other way around. Who's this guy? Jacques-Louis David. May I remind you that you promised to join me? I have a feeling that tonight's moon favors gamblers. Also, this is my partner in crime. Though it does not favor spouses. God should grace us with wives who understand the importance of an evening game of dice. They should also know that the right amount of wine guarantees a lucky roll. I should go home. Being a judge to the game has benefits. Other players will surely not cheat. That's not a strong argument. My name is Jacques-Louis David. I am but a humbler painter, not a silver-tongued judge. You are a sly politician, Jacques. As a politician, I understand the importance of keeping promises, and you, my friend, are trying to get out of yours. I need to go home, Jacques. Told you a couple times. You're not a good influence on me. Not tonight, Jacques. You have not had the day I've had. Okay. Friends are having a good time, but I'm repairing relations with the wife, so happy wife, happy life. Late evening, the judge's house. You can read. Okay. What? She pauses. Do you not want to berate me like you always do? I'm glad you're home. Are you aware that Frederick sometimes imagined you as a deep-sea sailor? He dreams that you visit distant countries and have wonderful adventures. But he would rather have you by his side or on land. We all want that. I don't want to watch the storm blow your lifeboat away and bury it beneath the waves. There are no waves. The storm is getting closer. Dark clouds already hang over the shore. Just wait until they finish building the guillotine. Your oars will break at once, and the waves will take you to a place you'll wish you'd never set foot on. A place without us. Your family loves you, but we won't find you in the darkness that has already begun to reach for you. Okay. Relations with the family, family actions. Upon returning home, you can decide how you'd like to spend the rest of the day. Various actions. Each action will affect other members of the family. as well as their attitude towards you. Character attitudes. Character's attitudes. Each character attitude can provide you with or deprive you of certain bonuses. Example, reputation or relations and factions. Youngest son. Your youngest son is special. His attitude makes the other family members like you slightly more. Take good care of him. All right. Influence on revolutionaries. My oldest son. Influence on the people. My father. Revolutionaries, people. Influence on reputation. My wife. Influence on our family relations. My son. Political debate. Paragraphs and codes. Demonstration. Evening gambling. Demonstration. Take your sons to pro-revolution demonstration. Let them see real life up close. Paragraphs and codes. Bernard's musical interest notwithstanding, he needs to learn some more perspective skills. And law can be an art in his own right. Political debate. It's time for your grown men to talk about the revolution's achievements. It should be an interesting exchange. Okay, so these are the negative effects. The positive effects. Alright, I'm going to do political debate with my eldest son. Alright, my father's relations goes down, my oldest son goes up. Act 1, Liberté. Jour 2. Je prends un peu. Today, the people of Paris commemorate Jacques-Guillaume Simoneau, mayor of Étampes. He was lynched by a furious mob for performing his duties to France. This march shall symbolize the unity of our society and the hope that the most violent stage of the revolution is past us. Let us make sure that no other loyal servant of France becomes a victim of such hatred ever again. King Louis XVI. Kind of a big deal. Well, I didn't even see the question he asked me. I don't even know what I'm answering. We have to show we oppose the self-appointed executioners and stand alongside of victims. I wonder why the king has taken the trouble to show up. Louis XVI marching arm in arm with the people of Paris? That is unexpected. King Louis. What the heck? Louis Capet. The King Louis XVI in my court. Continue, please. I'm merely an observer. Do not change your habits for me. I heard a thing or two about a young and ambitious judge of the tribunal. I was curious whether he's guided by justice or by entertainment, as some would say. So the king sits in on this one. Okay, I gotta do one more here. I don't know who this guy. Okay, second one, hierarchy again. David, an artist and politician. His paintings often refer to the revolution. When it comes to his political career, he's an efficient deputy of the convention. Those two areas of his life are blending together and feeding back on themselves. For example, when he led the closure of the Académie Française, the same institution that had rejected him for many years, he's a longtime friend of Judge Fidel. Oh, okay, that's my... Burel, who's this? An aging commander of the National Guard. He has seen enough to not put trust in ordinary people, even if they're able to start a revolution. Alright. Check my note. Pour papa. My son's drawing. on my book. He's so cute. He's just a little kid. Okay, that's still just the neighborhood. Okay, hold on a second. So the person. Okay, others. Mathieu Burel. Agent Commander of the National Guard, Georges Danton, an attorney himself. He knows the law as well as the tribunal of judges. This fact is considered by many to be the only thing keeping him alive, in light of the numerous accusations of corruption and treason against him. Even more important, however, is his ability to deliver fiery speeches that result in the dismissal of all potential charges. His rivalry with Robespierre has become the talk of the town, and their official relations are often referred to as harsh friendship. Let me read the case file. Compiled by Nathan Desiroff. Theft and burglary. The defendant is Olivier Moulet, a 65-year-old master locksmith, who is famed among Parisian burglars as an expert on unopenable locks. Last month, he was commissioned by the owners of a Parisian glassworks, Jean-Rude Louis Roux and Ferdinand Salon, to construct locks for ornate chests for valuables, presumably gifts for their wives. The craftsman praised his latest creation as thief-proof. Shortly following their completion, the industrialist houses were hit by a series of burglaries committed by a recent newcomer to Paris, Hector Vion. The thief from Orléans was caught in the act and shot by Ferdinand Salon. An expensive Turgot map of Paris with the houses of the recently robbed industrialist marked on it was found in the deceased. Surprisingly, Salon had given Moulet an identical map as advance payment. This deposit was in addition to the agreed remuneration. For all the employers. Oh my gosh. Evidence is the map of Paris, right? Course of events. Good. Marks on the map is evidence, right? Okay. I get possible mistakes 3. Doggone. Alright, good. I've got these 3 left. The master locksmith is not the defender's extenuating circumstances. A famous thief. A drunken evening. Yeah, that's course of events as well. Good. I can't remember if I had done the famous thief as the accusation. Oh, good. One left. The famous thief. It's either evidence or course of events. Yes. Master locksmith, last piece. Offender's personality. Sweet. Piece of cake. Alright, so the revolutionaries want prison. The common folk want acquittal. As the king. Robbing the bourgeoisie is no crime. And they want prison for this guy. Right? Or is... Okay, according to the case file, you are citizen Olivier Moulet. Moulet, is that correct? Indeed it is, Monsieur le Juge. May I have a request? I would like to sit down. I'm an old man, you see. Basic respect for the judiciary requires that you remain standing. Do the names Salon, Rude, and Roux mean anything to you? Why are you so determined to harass an old man? Alright, so they want him free. Those are the ordinary people. And these are revolution. I don't even know. They sound like the names of my debtors. Debtors? They are the victims of activities you conducted. You mean locksmithing? Questions the defendant. Okay, you were commissioned by the victim to make chest locks. Who installed them? It was me, naturally. And all in agreement with the contract. My job was to prepare and install the locks. The employer was only to come and see whether the work was completed. And pay, of course. Was the installation carried out at your workshop? Not on site, at the client's property. None of those idlers bothered to deliver the trunks to my workshop, so I had to strain my old legs. Does that mean you knew the addresses of the victims? How else would I get there? Blindfolded and on a wagon? Influence on the jury's opinion. Oh, by asking these questions. Do you recognize this map? No, I don't recall ever seeing it before. Ferdinand Salon claims that he gave you this map as advance payment for your services. He claims what? That wicked wretch of a second-rate merchant. He gave me a scrap of paper as payment for making 3 locks, and says it's supposed to be worth more than 3,000 francs he owes me. An honest laborer is being judged while frauds remain at large. Silence. So this map does belong to you. It doesn't. So where is the map that you received from Citizen Salon? I lost it, but it wasn't even worth a loaf of bread, so I surely won't shed a tear. But if you have it, maybe you stole it from me. You'd better make a note that Oliver Mueller demands remuneration from Rude, Roux, and Salon. How much did you charge for your services? 3,000 francs. Tidy sum, that is. If you were a master locksmith, you'd charge that much too. This is quite a substantial fee. Indeed, that's how much it costs to have high-quality locks made by a master with nearly 50 years of experience, and those bastards never paid me a single franc. The victims did not pay you the agreed amount? Not a franc, but I'd beat that money right out of them, but I'm too old for that. They want them free. Did you give Hector Villon the map with the victims' houses marked on it? I give nothing to Achilles, Hector, or any other Greek. Call the witnesses, Citizen Jean Rude. Jean Rude in the flesh. You will not speak unless called upon. Naturally, of course. What went missing during the burglary? My house was the first one to be robbed, and in my case, it was mostly valuables. At Roux's house, he will not say it himself, but I do not want to go to prison. It was the letters he had exchanged over the years with King Louis. Damn monarchist. Okay, Salon did not lose a thing. He shot that vermin in the act. That is what he said. What happened to the items he had stolen? That still remains unknown. According to Salon, Hector had nothing with him. Ferdinand suspects he had hidden the other valuables somewhere. He hid the other items before robbing the last house. Strange. Advance payment in the form of a map, its disappearance, the murder of a burglar, and a lack of payment for services. It all makes for a rather strange story. A suspicious one, too. I do not... What were you mumbling? If I say something, will I be free? He knows something. Please testify what you know immediately. That map was Salon's idea. He told the thief about the advance payment. We gave to the locksmith and proposed that Hector steal it. And he did? Indeed. But then the bastard robbed us. Later, we were forced by Salon not to pay the locksmith because he sent the thief after us. And that's when it all went down the drain. That's the bourgeoisie for you. He fooled them all in one fell swoop. It sounds like Citizen Salon had everything planned. However, there's no evidence to support the claim. Perhaps it's Citizen Rude who is plotting against his partner and wants to frame him? And Vian is dead, so he will not be able to shed light on any of this. Remember that. If I was younger, I'd give that Salon a drubbing. That pig, that good-for-nothing lying bastard. Please restrain yourself. The testimony of a witness is still not evidence, neither of a Citizen Salon's guilt nor of your innocence. Did you know Hector Vian before? This is the first time I've heard of the name. That's interesting, as you were seen draining several bottles of wine together at the Ginger Margot Inn. Is that a crime? No, but the question is, why are you denying it now? Was your drinking spree just a deception for discussing the burglary? Nobody I had a drink with introduced themselves as Hector. I didn't plan any heist with a Hector, Victor, or Hugo. I'm a locksmith, and I earn good money from it. Burglaries are for vagrants without a job. Were you the one who marked the addresses of 3 victims on the map? I didn't mark anything. The houses of your clients are marked on the map. I don't know who marked them. Maybe you should ask the person you found the map on. Maybe the court made the marks and has no memory of doing so? Do you not think there are too many coincidences in your story? You obtain the map but lose it, and then it's found on the thief who has robbed your clients. I know nothing of the coincidences. I only make locks. Rumor has it you're one of the best locksmiths in Paris. I should deny it for modesty's sake, but I will not. That cannot be true, though, as a random thief from Orleans was easily able to open your locks. Well, then he must have been one of the best thieves in Orleans. Let's be serious, Monsieur le Judge. Every lock can be picked with the right talents, even my locks. Did you tell Hector Vian how to open the locks in the victims' trunks? I understand what you're implying, but consider this. If he sold the secret of my locks, then my business would be over. Word spreads fast among thieves. The revolutionaries want prison. The common folk want acquittal. Now the jury wants acquittal, as do the common folk. The revolutionaries are a pain in the ass. The verdict for Citizen Olivier Moulet is not guilty. Lead the defendant away. Bravo, Muller. Away with the bourgeoisie. To be honest, this does bear the marks of social justice. They would not pay him, so he had them robbed. There's balance here. Okay, the revolutionaries are looking to get me removed from office. The common folk have my life in the balance. Alright. I'm going to wrap this up after this next little interlude.
King Louis XVI. There were people who truly loved him. He reminded the French they had noble ancestors. Do not be manipulated by people who are not bearing the burden of responsibility. This saddened me. Someone had advised him to say that. Someone who was well aware of the cold, inevitable wind of change. I did not pity the king, but those who will come after him, as they will not have great ancestors.
All right, one of us. Frenchmen marched in the streets of Paris side by side, one line after another, to commemorate Jacques-Guillaume Simoneau, mayor of Étampes. He was murdered by a furious mob, punished for a law he did not enact but was obliged to observe. Freedom of speech killed him. If we understand this is the right to cast stones, to show one's discontent, the right to murder people because you deem them responsible for your miserable life, surely the people of Paris would prefer if we said that nothing happened. Common folks' endorsement down, revolutionaries up. Your son is rather good with the viola. He's both talented and enthusiastic. I would prefer that he was enthusiastic about the law books I gave him. Maybe his destiny is to become an artist, not a lawyer. Mother likes to hear me playing. There's nothing more boring than law. See? He'd rather let his career rely on the humors of the people. There are many ways to rescue France. Believe me, our country desperately needs something to ennoble it. The power is in the hands of simple, illiterate people. Let him rescue their souls with music. That is better than boring laws and clauses. See what you're doing? You're spoiling my child. I do not have my own children to spoil, so I'm focusing on yours. Speaking of which. Oh, no. Story event. Locked action. After various important events, you may find yourself with an action forced upon you. On this day, you'll become the victim of your own decisions. Cannot change this action. Oh. You attend the parade in memory of a lynched official. I have to. Okay, I have to go to this parade. And it's going to push down my relationship with Bernard, which is going to have a negative effect on the revolutionaries and influence my reputation of my wife. My father is going to go up with people and influence, I think, on my son. I'm not sure, a little bit. All right, restored a little bit of faith in my father. My son drops. My wife. Ugh. What am I supposed to do? Act 1. Liberté. La jure toi.
That is our new symbol of freedom. You can still smell the fresh wood.
Do you feel free looking at it?
Individuals like us do not need symbols, but France does. Did you hear the news of the day? People are running around like headless chickens and yelling about Louis and his entourage escaping Paris.
So, we will not be enjoying the aroma of fresh wood for long.
Monuments like that are not installed solely for the purpose of punishing thieves or lesser aristocrats.
Do you think it wants to taste royal blood?
Louis's flight was a stupid move, yet it seems it was planned. One of us will sacrifice him. That is, if they catch him.
Is that why Louis visited us at the court? To manipulate us?
Maybe deep in his heart he felt what the builders of the guillotine did. That someone has to be exposed as a traitor, even if there is none.
Welcome, Citizen Fidel. My name is Antoine. Okay, I'm gonna. Oh, I guess I gotta return it here. Well, no, wait a minute. Menu. I could quit. Okay, thanks for watching. I'll finish this. I'll continue this up next time.